Today we will be ripping our lumber in preparation for our TV console. So as you can see, we have our 2x6 piece of lumber, and it technically is measured in 1.5 by 5.5 inches. You'll also see that there is a little bit of a radius or curved edge, and while that is cute and helps to protect the wood, maybe not in this case, it really is not productive or helpful when you are trying to piece wood together. You really need a straight edge like you see here, where the edges of the wood are in a perfect 90-degree angle, and they can literally be put together with other pieces of wood. As you can see, the curved edges have been ripped off, and it is exactly 5 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rip one piece and do like one side for all my pieces so they're all the same for that one side, and then I'm going to then rip the other side. So I'm not going to be ripping like one board at a time. I'm not going to be ripping like both rips on both sides, so I don't have to keep readjusting this. So like once I get this to where I want it to be, I'm going to rip all one side, and then I'm going to adjust it again so that I can now be comfortable enough and good enough to rip my other side. Also, you'll see like some of these things have nicks in them, so what I'm going to try and do, there's actually like a really bad one right here, is I'm going to make sure that I pass it through going against this nick so that it kind of like cuts like that, as opposed to cutting like this where it can just cause it to get even worse. But like I said, I'm going to do pass-throughs of one side of each of these cut boards. These are all already cut, not the long ones. It's easier to rip on the pieces you need than trying to rip on, really long pieces like that. I cut these down to the sizes I need, and now I'm going to rip each side. Again, right now I know I have 5.5. So I'm going to make this down to 5.25. So show you. So I'm gonna bring it. This is how big my wood is. This is what I want to take off. So my first pass through, I'm gonna put it here. Then when I go through and do all my second ones, I'm gonna put it here, and then I'm gonna get that for 5 inches, 5-inch worth. So first thing is to kind of level up. I'm so extra. And then you're going to lock it in place. And then you'll see that my blade is directly at my mark. So I don't mind if I'm rather kind of cut outside of the mark than inside of the mark, just because it gives me the right amount of wood. All right, let's go. So for my first rip, again, I'm trying to just make sure it's centered. I'm gonna do it at 5. Again, we've readjusted our thing. Before it was at 5.25. Now it's at 5. And this was our dummy piece that we tried first. So it should slide right through again. So we know that we are at the 5 that we would like for it to be at. So now I'm going to saw off of the other side here. Marks on both sides. But like I said, I already kind of know what I want it to be at. All right, so let's do this first cut. Here is my perspective. And here are some of our final straight edge pieces.